Yo, what's good, y'all boys? It's Dub, man. Today I'm coming at you with another GOAT debate. I bet y'all probably thought I was never going to do another one like this. If you haven't seen my other one, go check that out. Y'all getting on me in that one. I don't really know how. All I said was that LeBron was better. And y'all trying to get on me. It don't make no sense. Man, I want to go back and reply to just every comment, especially to those, bro. For y'all that's saying that LeBron not even in your top 20 of players of all time, it's just clear that you don't like LeBron. And you, bro, come on, man. And to say that I don't, come on, bro. To say that I don't know basketball and then you saying LeBron not in your top 20 of all time, it's crazy. It's crazy. If LeBron not your number one, how is he not your number two? And I'm not even going to speak because y'all try to say Larry Bird better than LeBron. Bro, whatever, man. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below which one me to react to next. And don't forget to follow my Instagram at tb.doug. But let's go ahead and get right into it.
To get the fresh 14 to the Lakers. LeBron! Look out below!
Man, bro. The stuff this man is doing in his 19th season, can you name another player that did this? Come on, man. Fresh 14 to the Lakers. LeBron! Look out below! I feel like people just hate on LeBron because he speaks.
It's never gonna end, is it? LeBron's reign over the NBA. I've just come to the conclusion that LeBron has hacked into the Matrix and has transcended aging. LeBron is in his 19th NBA season and is somehow still one of the best players on the planet.
Crazy.
This isn't supposed to happen. 99% of NBA players peak in their mid to late 20s and then slowly regress as they age, eventually becoming a liability to their team and inevitably sailing off into the sunset, washed up and content with their achievements. But not LeBron.
I know about Vince Carter,
is fighting his age like he's got a grudge on time itself. And the more he piles up on these mind-bending feats, the more we must ask ourselves the question. And I really hate to do this, but is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time? And if he isn't, what would he need to do to truly, once and for all, be the GOAT?
Man, honestly, I really want y'all to comment down below for those who don't think LeBron is the greatest of all time. What does he have to do in order for him to be, because for y'all not saying he not top 3, top 2 of all time, bro, what does LeBron have to do? He finna pass Kareem in scoring of all time. What does LeBron have to do to become the GOAT in y'all eyes? And don't be hateful, don't say nothing mean. Like, what does LeBron have to do? That's a good question.
About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video is LeBron the GOAT. You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
I can respect that.
My original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed, because I never said LeBron was the GOAT at the time. I just gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether. I've put a spin on the idea of the greatest players in certain aspects of the game. I've talked about the greatest scorers, I've ranked players using purely numbers, but I've never really broken down who the greatest player is, in my opinion, because I just feel like the topic is a bit redundant.
Bro.
And ESPN already gives you a daily update on the GOAT debate.
Bro. The NBA GOAT conversation, that has to be the biggest argument in sports history. Like, you can talk about Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. You can say who's the best out of them. It won't really be an argument. You know what I'm saying? Some people going to say Tom Brady, some people going to say Peyton, some people going to say Joe Montana. But when you bring up basketball, LeBron versus Jordan, I feel like that's like the biggest, that will cause the biggest argument of all time. Even soccer, biggest argument.
Anyways, so no need for me to do it. But I think it's time we actually discuss this, because what LeBron is doing at this point in his career is just absurd. At the moment, there are pretty much 3 different camps on the whole GOAT debate. People who think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, people who think LeBron is the GOAT, and people who are wrong. I'm just joking. of
It's
course.
crazy.
But not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the MJ's the GOAT category, about 20% of people fall into the LeBron's the GOAT category, and about 5% fall into the other category.
Yeah.
Usually these other
was
fans
just
believe
gonna
the
say
GOAT
Kareem.
is Wilt or Kobe or Kareem. There's not many of them, but boy, will they die on that hill. See, the thing here is that a lot of the fans in MJ's corner believe that he is and will forever be the GOAT. But realistically, is there anything LeBron can do to surpass him? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of objective metric we can use to distinguish the greatest player of all time. No opinions, no bias, just the facts. If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly be the GOAT, right? So there
Never know,
are
they might
paths
find a
for him
reason
to become
not
the
to take
greatest
it as
ever.
a-
But where does
Bro,
that threshold?
because people, I'm not for the pause because it's 16 minutes. People already saying the ring that he got in the bubble doesn't even count as a ring. Bro, come, this man can't do nothing, bro. I really want to know what y'all gonna say when he passed Kareem in points of all time. I really, and he's a pass first guy, so I really want to know what y'all. 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds. Only played.
So there are
Whatever.
paths for him to become the greatest ever. But where does that threshold lie, and what would LeBron have to achieve to get there?
Facts.
First, let's just take a look at the basic numbers. Between Michael and LeBron, LeBron has more career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher three-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. But this whole argument, the career totals argument, is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity and sustained excellence.
Yeah.
These numbers don't prove that
Facts.
LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter than Jordan.
See, I'm a LeBron fan, but I can give it to that. That mean nothing when it comes to being a better player. That mean nothing.
They just prove that LeBron's been good at these things for a very, very long time.
That's facts.
These numbers also show just how versatile LeBron is, possibly his most valuable asset.
I remember that,
Instead
though.
of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Michael averages more points and more steals, and LeBron averages more assists and more rebounds.
Michael Jordan
and as
defense
much
on
as it
another
pains
level.
me to say this is usually where the argument for the GOAT ends for most people. Throw in a required comment about their finals records, and you pretty much have a condensed version of most GOAT debates. But there is so much more to unpack here. So let's unpack it. So y'all know how much I like advanced stats. They don't tell the full story, but if you know which ones to look for, you can discover some nuances in a player's game that you won't get by just watching them play. Player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These 6 advanced stats give us efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything in between. And in these 6 advanced statistics, Michael Jordan exceeds LeBron in 5 of them. He's more efficient overall. He contributes to more wins. He contributes to more points. He's better on defense, and he is generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat where LeBron tops Jordan is true shooting percentage. Now, in terms of who's a better basketball player, nearly every metric points to Michael Jordan. But really take a look at these numbers, and
give him
it's
that.
actually uncanny just how close LeBron is to MJ across the board. Just a fraction behind Jordan in pretty much everything. But these numbers aren't even addressing who's greater, because that conversation would involve accolades and accomplishments and impact on the game. Take away the rings, the influence, the intangibles, the opinions, and it's virtually objectively true that Michael was a better basketball player than LeBron. But the GOAT debate isn't necessarily about who is the better player. It's about who is the greatest player. We've got some more unpacking to do.
That's what I said. Like, bro, that's why I said in the last video, y'all was trying to get on me. Y'all lucky I'm in
Now,
a good
we
mood.
cannot have a
man.
thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments of each player. Numbers are cool and they have their purpose, but numbers alone aren't indicative of greatness. They're just a vehicle to greatness. This is why, despite James Harden spending half a decade piling up some of the greatest scoring numbers in NBA history, most people don't consider him greater than some players with far lesser offensive numbers.
Facts.
The numbers complement the accolades, not the other way around. This is also why I consider Wilt Chamberlain to have been a better basketball player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was greater than Wilt. Wilt achieved his greatness through his numbers, whereas Russell achieved his greatness by contributing to an unrelenting style of winning basketball. So let's take a look at the accomplishments of both Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, there are plenty of other awards a player can earn in the NBA, but these are the ones that really stand out on a player's resume. Championships, Finals MVPs, regular season MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA selections, and All Defensive Team selections. And amongst these 6 categories, Jordan beats LeBron in 5 of them. And Michael accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons to LeBron's full 18 seasons. The only category where LeBron outperformed Michael is in All-NBA selections. And most will argue that, again, this is an accomplishment of longevity more than anything else, which, at this point, seems to be the overall theme in the GOAT debate. Up to this point in his career, the majority of fans will agree that LeBron has been a step below Jordan in terms of greatness. So now the race to become the GOAT has become a marathon, because eventually the sheer volume of LeBron's career numbers and achievements may become so overwhelming that we'll have no choice but to concede that he is in fact the greatest player of all time. Which brings us to a real dilemma in this age-old debate. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. A great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu regarding the idea of excellence and the sustainability of it. Almost as if you can have longevity or be exceptional, but you can't have both. Now, in the world of basketball and sports in general, usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. Michael Jordan was excellent for 13 seasons in the NBA. His flame was violently bright and had burned for quite some time. But what if there was a flame that burned about 95% as bright and lasted much, much longer? At a certain point, the radiance of even the brightest flame is outclassed by the flame that just won't quit. Of course, LeBron isn't a flame. He's a 6'9", 250-pound freak of nature in basketball shoes, but his light shines about 95% as bright as Michael Jordan's did, and it's lasting a whole lot longer. When does the longevity of LeBron's brilliance simply outmatch the slightly greater but much shorter brilliance of Michael? Because as we've discussed, Mike trumps LeBron in pretty much every single metric other than longevity and overall production. So the real question here is, how much longer will LeBron have to be excellent before the majority agrees that he is greater than Michael was? The man is in his 19th NBA season and he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's still a top 5 player in the league and his bag is getting deeper and deeper with every season. Here's a chart of LeBron's total points, assists, and rebound averages throughout each season of his career. Each point on the graph represents the total average of points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. So, for example, this season LeBron is putting up 8, 6, and 30 a game, so his total for the season is 44. Now, in the NBA, anything above a total of 40 is exceptional. LeBron's total production has exceeded 40 in 17 different seasons. Now here's Michael's total average points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. This is by far the greatest argument in favor of LeBron in the GOAT debate. The man has simply sustained excellence for longer than Mike did. And although the numbers are just a vehicle to greatness, there has got to be a point where the numbers are just too glaring to ignore. LeBron's numbers are getting to that point. But some fans will argue that there were other players that were still really good this late in their career. You mean like Kareem, or Kobe, or Karl Malone? They weren't even close. LeBron's already the only player to be a part of the 30K, 10K, 10K club. Aside from a freak injury, he'll undoubtedly break Kareem's scoring record. He'll probably play the most seasons in an NBA career. He already has the record for most All-NBA selections, and he's still adding to what is probably the longest career highlight reel with moments like this. If LeBron is still doing this in a couple years, while still putting up All-NBA numbers, I really think it's going to be difficult to say that he's not the greatest player ever.
Bro, I really just want y'all to I'm not being a hater. I'm not being a hater, bro. Bro, Michael Jordan is a great. He's a great. He's just not better than LeBron. To me, can y'all tell me? Can you honestly tell me that Michael Jordan can do what LeBron is doing 19th year into the NBA? The answer should be no. Let's be real. The answer should be no. Like, come on. I done gave Michael Jordan his props throughout this video. I just want y'all to say at least 3 nice things about LeBron. Y'all can't do that. That's crazy. I wonder what LeBron had to do for y'all, bro.
I'm just gonna say it. While LeBron's legacy is growing as he plays more seasons, Michael's legacy would have been slightly diminished if he played more seasons. Of course, this isn't a matter of fact, but all the evidence points towards this assumption. Michael Jordan retiring after playing just 13 NBA seasons in 1998 was the best thing he could have ever done for his legacy. The Bulls were not going to win another championship, and the backbone of the dynasty he had built had all but vanished by the beginning of the 1999 season. If he had played through that 3-year retirement gap from 1999 to 2001, he would have either stayed with the Bulls and put up huge numbers on a losing team, or signed with a different team and chased rings. Both options being far less illustrious than him going out on top with the team that drafted him. Michael's career was the perfect storm. He was drafted by a franchise that was ready and willing to build around him. He was on a roster that suited his skill sets extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history.
You can't name me, bro. I don't care what y'all say in the comments. You can't name me a team that Michael Jordan versed that's better than the Warriors. And I'll wait, bro. Matter of fact, if you name a team that's better than the Warriors that Michael Jordan faced, I'll pin the comment. And I love it, bro. I swear, across my heart, I will pin the comment. There's no greater team that Michael Jordan faced that's better than the Warriors. I guarantee that.
Outside of Jordan's Bulls, while Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates. Part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters. And I bring up these small nuances because the GOAT debate is very nuanced. As much as people want to act like the whole 6-0 in the finals is the end-all be-all to the discussion, it's just not. If rings were all that mattered, then Bill Russell would be the GOAT.
Bill Russell.
Oh, but he played a long time ago. That doesn't count. Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he has 7 rings to Jordan's 6.
I remember I said that. I remember I said who in the video trying to be funny, and y'all on me for that. Who don't know Robert? Bro, come on, bro. Obviously it was a joke. Y'all gotta learn to laugh a little bit, man.
Count. Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he has 7 rings to Jordan's 6. Well, yeah, but Horry wasn't the best player on any of those championships.
Excuses,
okay,
man.
So is the argument about rings, or is it about being the best player on the court?
Thank you.
Or a mixture of both? Is a player's performance, despite how masterful it was, all in vain if his team loses? The line becomes less and less clear the deeper you dig. No single metric can be used to determine this debate. And the unpacking of every small minute detail is a necessary burden. But unfortunately, it's a burden that most fans won't bother to take on. At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I also think he's the best basketball player of all time. But unlike some fans, I don't think the door has closed on LeBron. I think that if LeBron can continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career, I think that he has a chance to retire as the greatest player of all time. But of course, only time will tell.
That's
and
facts.
fortunately for LeBron,
that.
time seems to perpetually be on his side.
Hey man, that was a good video. I can't, bro. Honestly, I respect everything he said in the video. I ain't saying not one bad thing about Jordan. So don't go in the comments talking bad about LeBron. We're not finna do that again. Man, in all honesty, y'all let me know down below what y'all thought of the video. I think this was a good video. This was a great video. He showed love to both sides. It wasn't one-sided. I like this video. I really like this video. I mean, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below which one me to react to next. I'll make sure I get to it. And don't forget to follow my Instagram at tb.dub. Yeah, man, I'm out.